has been. We are live 364 days a year. What are we doing here?
If Dom turns at SummerSlam, I'm shaving my moustache off. I've told you, if that happens, it's going. My lip is cold because of a stupid bet that I made with YouTube.
Oh, good.
Wrestle's better than Daniel Bryan. Bryan Daniels. Better than Okada.
How do you not get sushi after Monday Night Raw?
What is going on, everybody? We are back once again with another edition of Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast. I already revealed who's hanging out with me, but I will re-reveal it here shortly. We've got a sweet show ahead on tap for you here. We're breaking down the Go Home Dynamite and Collision, technically. A little bit of funkiness there when it comes to that, but that's neither here nor there. I'm stoked about it, and in the words of the great Fernando Zayas, it's time to light the fuse and ignite this Dynamite review. No doubt about it. We got Davis in the comments with it's the Go Home Dynamite. Yes, absolutely. First and foremost, though, let me introduce my friends to you. Let me send it to the DMV. It's the Tuesday Night Delight on a Thursday. How are you, my friend? Long time no see. Not really.
What's going on, Clark? It's your boy Shad Tawks Graps, and we are back with another installment of the Wrestling Republic daily broadcast. I'm excited to be here. Let's get into it.
For sure. We dodged some technical difficulties too today out of nowhere, which is awesome. That's huge for us because it wasn't our fault this time, right? You can't predict technology. But speaking of predicting technology, I'm going to send this one to the Massachusetts area, the state of Massachusetts, to my good friend Dez, our resident Cowboys fan. And despite suspension, you had your wide receivers playing pretty good this weekend, didn't you?
Yeah, they did. I got to say, Ricochet, man, I love you, but you got the right hoodie on, the wrong team. Going to Massachusetts, talking about the Philadelphia Eagles, just like the Eagles, and you lost, you took the L. Same thing's going to happen Sunday, but I'm excited to be here. We got Shaw, we got Clark. It's time to kick it into full gear and discuss last night's Dynamite.
Wow, shots
let
fired.
me just get off of this because he's talking nonsense. We need to drug test our employees before they get on.
There you go.
Show.
I think he just got nervous that I accidentally wore a green hoodie today. He's like, please tell me it's not
exactly, bro.
You.
Eagles, bro. It's a big game this week, bro. We got to have the confidence at an all-time high. If we lose, I'm going to come into work really sad the next day. But sorry, for now,
we'll see what happens.
By the way, DCX Warlord brings up a great point here. He said if Shad was wearing his hat, then we would have had Hat Gang 2.0. It's not necessarily about that, though, DCX Warlord. What
I'm bought by Tony Khan today.
True. He's representing the dub.
Is an absolute friend of the show, and I'm going to ask a favor. I want you to keep the hat stats on the daily from now on, if you don't mind. I think that in the future definitely has some legs. Let's see the number of hats per week, number of hats per show, all the averages and whatnot. That would be, I think that'd be an exciting addition to the end of the week. Maybe we debut it on the podcast. You know, we break down the hat stats, who wore the most hats per week. I've never done a show without one. So that's the one thing I can hang my hat on.
It would be between you and me for sure who would win that.
Yeah. I mean, that's the worst.
We're both bald. That's why. But
it's the worst dad joke of my life just now. Like I can hang my hat on that. What am I doing here? Let's break down Dynamite and Collision, guys. Oh, wait, it's National Peanut Butter Fudge Day. Zach Mayer 107. Wait, before we do break down Dynamite and Collision, I will give a word of advice to my friends here. If you have not tried the frozen bananas that they're selling at the grocery store now that are Reese's peanut butter cup covered. So it's like they're Reese's covered frozen bananas. They sell them in the freezer aisle. I made the mistake of spending too much time in the freezer aisle the other day when I was shopping. But it wasn't a mistake. It was not a mistake. Those things work, and that is not an ad. But man, when you find something as good as bananas covered in Reese's in the freezer aisle, you have to think about it. But let's get into our first topic. Out of the gates here, we've got Hangman Page taking out Ben's very favorite Shibata, a member of the Ops. You know, we've got warfare here. It's Hangman versus the Ops, essentially. The numbers game not in his favor. But we did see this on the Go Home show. Dez, I'm going to go to you here out of the gates, my friend. What were your thoughts on this one?
was a fun match, man. Crowd was really hot in Boston. I gotta say, I like Shibata, but I can't take him serious as a heel. Like, it's really hard for me to, because just a few months ago, he was a comedy act, but he was also like a serious wrestler. I just feel like with Joe and for Hobbs, it works with them being bad guys, but with Shibata, knowing the situation of what happened a few years back in New Japan, it's just like, it's awesome to see him wrestle again after what happened. So it's really hard to boost somebody like that. But my man, Cowboy Expletive, Wrestler of the Year, just continues putting on great matches. This has been a fun feud, and I'm just really curious to know where else this goes. I got to say, though, Hangman's doing great work. It's cool to see the ops on here. And yeah, it's been great.
No doubt about it. I'm 100% with you. I mean, dude, look, Hangman and Shibata is a match we never thought we could see, right? Like, let's be honest with ourselves, given Shibata's injury history and whatnot. I actually really do like Shibata in the ops as a heel. Really? I'm not going to lie to you. That would be the only thing I slightly disagree with here, Des. And my reasoning is he's always had the plain black trunks. He's always sort of played the babyface in Japan. But at this point in his career, running alongside of guys like Hobbs and Joe, he fits that just like no nonsense type heel. You're not going to see him be the one to cut the promo, but that's where the ops make sense to me, right? He's the walking weapon piece of the group. And I think that's something that's important to note. No doubt about it. This is hilarious. DCX Warlord. It was Valhalla for Clark. That's so good. I'm sorry. That just tickled me. That is hilarious. And then we've also got, we're going to get to this, Fernando. No doubt about it. Don't you guys worry. That's in the main event this afternoon. So hang tight for sure. But Shad, obviously, if you are ready to rock, I know you've had to make some camera adjustments here, but we are so back.
Yeah, I'm still going to need to make a camera adjustments, but we'll go with the first topics. Don't worry.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I got this technical difficulty stuff is really not helping me today, but it is what it is. This was fine, man. I think you got an opportunity to see what Shibata does as a professional wrestler, and it kind of progresses within the storyline. I just like, it's the common trope, right? You kind of got to go through all the minions or the henchmen before you get to the top opponent. And Hangman being a babyface, I think him going against the ops, you got a lot of high quality matches leading up to what we are going to get with Samoa Joe in the cage match on Saturday. Like we talked about last week, him and Hobbs, like it made a big defining moment. But I think last night was a defining moment for Shibata in a sense, just because we know what he is. He's a legend in professional wrestling, right? He's been, he wrestled Eddie Guerrero in Japan over 20 years ago. This is a guy whose resume doesn't, go unnoticed. But in the current iteration of pro wrestling, right, in American pro wrestling, a lot to what Des said, like people kind of see him like as a comedy character, and they don't see him and remind of how much of a great in-ring wrestler he is. And I think that's kind of what he covered grounds with yesterday. I think he showed his worth as that. And then Hangman, man, he's the epitome of a fighting champ. That's what you want in a babyface champion, someone who's going to carry the title and, wave the AEW flag by virtue in a sense that makes it loud and proud. And I feel like with that, he's kind of doing what he needs to do. And this has been a lot better of a title reign out the gate than it was the first time he won the title. And I think that's the beauty of it. I think, like we talk about it all the time, I think Adam Hangman Page is someone who's always been super talented and has always been underrated. But now he's rising to the occasion. And now he's matured so much as a talent, as a character, and even as a worker in a sense where you're seeing him at his peak level. You're seeing him at the best of his game. And that is kind of why he is the face of the franchise right now. Like he's the number one guy in AEW. So all in all, it was a fine TV main event. I thought it covered all grounds.
I love the way you said that about Hangman too, because I feel like we've gotten in this weird cycle where it's like, Hangman has the potential to be the face of AEW, and then they give him the title, and I don't know about the title reigns, and it's all about the chase and blah, 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 blah. And then he wrestles. And every single time he wrestles, it's like, but okay, now I get it again. It's like, when is this narrative going to end that he's not like the face or a pillar or the ultimate? I mean, this guy is what Shawn Michaels in the 90s pre-back injury was to the WWF, right? That's what Hangman Page has been to AEW the last few years. He is their plug and play. He can do whatever it is that you ask of him. He's great at storytelling. His talent is completely undeniable. And not only that, on top of everything else, Hangman Page sells merch, lands with the fans, and continues to evolve. He's not walking out with beers. He's not doing Stone Cold Light anymore like he was at the beginning. He's not the anxious millennial cowboy anymore. His attitude has changed. He's a father now, and he brings that to the screen. There's a realism when it comes to Hangman that also gets overlooked. I think he might be the most over-criticized guy in AEW history because it's super not fair to Hangman. I think Hangman is as good as you can ask Hangman Page to be, especially with, we love the sports cliches over here, like quarterback and like give him the ball and see what he can do and stuff. Every time you do, it does work out, and it always looks better in hindsight than it did even at the time for some reason. So I am ready to be done with the narrative that Hangman Page isn't the face or carrying the flag.
I got one for you. I think this is going to make you smile. Adam Hangman Page is who Cody Rhodes thinks he was going to be in AEW.
Yes. Yep. I could not agree more. That is what Cody Rhodes wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's what he wanted to be. And look, man, I'm going to be as honest as I can be. Adam Hangman Page is a pure definition piece of why you don't have to be, in Clark's words, corny to be a top tier babyface, right? And there is a lot of, by virtue, baby faces that come off cliche, that can come off a bit corny because they want to cater completely to the children, whatever it may be. Why do we like Hangman Adam Page besides the fact that he's a professional wrestling savant? He's one of the best in-ring competitors. Relatability. That's the thing. That is the thing. You mentioned it. He's a father. He's a guy who's a millennial that goes through the ebbs and flows of life, and he wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's not perfect. And that is what makes the character perfect. The imperfections of real life stuff and the blemishes show so much within his character, and that's what makes you want to relate to him. And that's that he's like as blue collar as you can make him ought to be. That's what makes him stick out as the biggest. Like, he's literally the best babyface in AEW. He's arguably, like, even to Dez's point, one of the best baby faces in pro wrestling this year.
Easily. He is, and I love that you said the corny line too, because he is the hardest babyface to make fun of. Yeah. You have to like nitpick to try to get but the brilliance of Hangman, and like you said, when it comes to the being corny and not being corny thing, is the relatability. On top of that, he's got an edge and a moral compass, right? Yeah. You know what I mean? You can push him over the edge. We've seen it. He burnt Swerve's house down, right? He got pushed over the edge. You don't mess with my family. Watch this, right? And they're, that was controversial at the time, but at the end of the day,
he's a rebel with a cause, man.
Yes.
But even to the Swerve story, like the fact that it took him so long to cope and actually make amends, maybe not like just that, like that whole story within itself, man. It's beautiful. Even when he was a heel, bro, like he's like it's like the epitome of a bad guy in movies, but you kind of sometimes feel a sense of like, I understand, like with like Killmonger and Black Panther or Thanos in the Infinity Wars and stuff like that, or Endgames. Like you see the why in it, and you can see it's like, yo, I can kind of understand what got them to that level.
Yeah, I think so for sure. Go ahead, Des, though. I did want to ask your thoughts on that as well.
No, I agree, man. Like I've said, Hangman is the main character, right? Even though you have guys like Kenny Omega, you have guys like Jon Moxley, who I do think is the ace. You have the Young Bucks, right? You have so many big names. Hangman is the main character of AEW, right? Let's say we look back 10 years from now, we're going to look back and be like, you know who was the face of AEW? Kenny's great. Mox is great. Osprey's great. It was Hangman Adam Page. He's the main character.
Like all along, no doubt too. And that original storyline leading to the match with Kenny and whatnot. I mean,
yeah,
very true.
Come on, man.
That's
it's also like how did he and Kenny have the best tag run in a division that's had the Bucks and FTR?
You know what though? It's so funny like how parallels are in pro wrestling because like everyone always wants to say Osprey is the main character, the top guy, but like that's the difference. And I think Dez just said it beautifully. It's that character aspect to it that draws you to want that to be the main guy. Like I even see it in WWE. Like someone like Gunther, his whole niche is just being an incredible pro wrestler. The same with Osprey. But I always ask when we talk about Gunther, and I will even say the same for Osprey at the second too, because I think it's fair to say what's that missing thing between those guys that doesn't put them in that same ballpark as like a Roman, right? Or in this case, like a Hangman. It's that character work. And yeah.
I agree.
I mean, I look at like the original Stadium Stampede and like he has to crash out the will he, won't he, and then he rides into the stadium on a freaking stallion. Come on. Like it was just like that was the moment where I was completely sold on Hangman. I'm like, okay, no, this guy's really, really, really good.
I agree.
Let's keep it rolling on today's show, though, Des. Just only because we got a bunch of stuff to get to, but I do want to read a few comments. This cracked me up. Fernando said Cody's a wannabe Hangman. Sure is. No doubt about it. And then All Elite Mary's in the chat. Monster shout out.
Big Dobbs.
All Elite Mary. No doubt. We've also, though, got some surprise outcomes here in these women's quarterfinal tag team matches over on AEW. And first off, we've got Alex Windsor and Rio taking on Timeless Love Bombs, which is, of course, Mina Shirakawa and Toni Storm.
The coldest entrance of all time.
Right? Absolutely ice cold. The
entrance
is unbelievable.
It's so cool. Yeah, like the Carmen San Diego. Great.
It is that good. Timeless Love Bombs pick up the victory in that one. And then in the other match, and I'm trying to remember, we've got obviously Megan Bayne and
TJ.
And Marina Shafir taking on TJ. And listen, you know, the headline says surprise outcome. I don't know what the Vegas odds look like. We don't gamble on wrestling here. But I don't know what about Marina Shafir and Megan Bayne beating TJ was surprising in any way. Have you seen them stand next to each other?
Yeah.
I mean, this is ridiculous. Marina Shafir stepped in glass on purpose to use her own human foot as a weapon less than a week ago. And then she put that same foot inside her wrestling boots, kind of, and just choked out. It just choked out Anna Jay like it was no big deal. Easy money. I wasn't shocked by this. I thought, and I said it after Blood and Guts, it was Marina's coming out party all the way. She was the highlight of that match. I am so much more excited, actually, based on the results of these two matches for the finale of this tournament than I was before, because I don't know who can stop. I was born in the darkness, Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir. I would not want to be on the opposite end of those two. Shad, what are your thoughts? And then obviously we've got it is technically a four corners match. Correct? At Full Gear on Sunday.
Yeah, something like that. Look, let's talk about the headline first, because it's a surprise. It's not a surprise, but I know what it is, and I understand what we're alluding to here. Ty Conti, Ty Mello put a very emotional tweet out there post-match, kind of saying that, you know, we're bummed that we lost. We kind of have been the first women's tag team, or one of the first women's tag teams established in AEW. And they've had, you know, the dream of being the tag team champions from the epitome of the division. And a lot of people, you know, have put out a frustration towards it, right? They feel like the original, the AEW faithfuls should have gotten farther within the tournament, maybe been the inaugural champions because they feel like they're due just so. And I get it. I understand. Ty J, incredible talents, man. Anna J is someone who's kind of developed so much from when she started to where she is now. Ty Mello, I have the utmost respect for her as a professional wrestler, coming back from having a child and doing what they do. But we can't live in a world where we're going to reward you for what you did compared to what are we doing now and what the talent you're going against, because it's just the honest truth. They weren't ever going to beat a team of Marina Shafir and Megan Bayne. I don't know if anybody will beat this team. These are the two most imposing women on the roster on one unit. And the other thing is this, man. Ty J, they just got back. They're a little cold right now. The fans aren't super invested into it. The four teams that are going to wrestle on Saturday, there's a little bit more investment in there. There's a little bit more excitement in there. The units are a little bit hotter. They're bigger stars at the moment. And that is honestly okay. That's just how professional wrestling goes, man. We got to talk. Like, your seat isn't always going to be there for you. Time goes on. Talent comes in. You add a Megan Bayne in this pool. You added a Tekla. Like, you added a Mina Shirakawa. You added a Toni Storm even after those two were from the start of it. And it's just the nature of the beast, bro. Like, the best people are going to be positioned to win these championships, especially if it is the inaugural belt. So that's just part of it. It's not anything against these two women, but that's just the nature of the beast, bro. Like, you can't expect you're going to have your seat at all times when, look, man, what's that game called? Musical chairs. You wasn't fast enough on the tune of the beat. So that's what it is. In regards to the outcome, I'm excited for it. I thought both matches were phenomenal. I really, really like the Timeless Love Bombs. I love the story that Mina and Toni have built into with each other from storylines when Mariah May was there to where we are now. I think they have great synergy. I think they play off each other so well. And Bayne and Shafir is the smartest pairing you could have put in after Penelope Ford got hurt, because you literally put the two biggest imposing threats in the women's division in one team, and they should be the betting odds to win it all, because that's a unit. And honestly, that's something that could benefit both women, is having a belt.
1,000% Shad. And I love this too, because I got the bracket pulled up and it's actually honestly so fun when you see it visually. You've got, and you know me, I often, and Des, you know this about me as well, I often talk about how what's important for a tag team. Maybe matching gear, that's nice. A cool name and camaraderie. Why are they friends? Why is there a partnership? Or is it, can they coexist? But explain how they're on the same team. We got the Sisters of Sin. It's been explained, and it's a great name, and it makes sense. We got the Babes of Wrath. It's a great name, and it's been explained. All of it. I love that. We've got the Timeless Love Bombs with arguably the best entrance going, as we mentioned. Great name, explained. And then my favorite thing is, this is the one exception, doesn't need a name. Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir. Right? That's the four in the match this Sunday that we're going to see. And I just love the idea of, like, no, there's not going to be, Shafir and Bayne can't be bothered to be asked what the name is or why they hang out. There's no reason to. And I dig that. They would be my favorites to win this tournament. No doubt.
And look, bro, you named all those teams. All of those women's wrestlers are hot commodities in AEW right now. Like, that's just I'm not, like, that would be like me complaining that Riho, who's the inaugural AEW Women's Champion, and Alex Windsor, the hot new signing, didn't advance. They're just not to that level right yet. Like, and to your point, like, the Babes of Wrath, like, Harley Cameron has been putting a lot of work in. And that woman is one of the most, like, if not, maybe behind Toni Storm, the best pure, like, just natural character in the women's division when you talk about entertainment value. She deserves to be in that slot. Willow needs to be in that slot because she's one of the top women in the entire roster. The spooky girls, as I like to call them, they like the best. They like the actual team, and they got the hot faction right now. So yeah, it all works out, man. With the Sisters of Sin, that's what they're called.
Yeah, the Sisters of Sin.
No, you call yourself, trademark it now before I do it. You are the spooky girls.
Yeah, well,
Spooky
Sisters of
girls.
Sin pretty butter with Julia.
It's pretty cool.
Sisters of
Dude,
Sin is
No, it's a bad sister Tekla, bro. Oh
Well,
my god.
when you
Tekla
look
needs to be a head coach, bro. I will run
Seriously.
through a wall for her.
Yes.
For promos, bro. She's old.
Bro, when you look at the list, though, I mean, Timeless Love Bombs is just classic because you've got Tony and Mina, but then Babes of Wrath and Sisters of Sin is just gold. I don't care what anyone says. That's absolutely
What would you
delightful.
name? What would you name Bane and Shafir?
Oh, I can't say that on air.
Jeez. Next topic.
It starts with an F and the second word is you.
That would be fire. Or flipping birds.
Yeah, just F you. Maybe.
I love Marina's entrance too, bro. I love like the Death Riders just walking out from wherever and then entering in. She's so badass, bro.
If I was going
Yeah, she
clean
is.
version, I would call him You're Dead. Like,
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong.
what are you gonna do? Yeah, because Eminem doesn't work either with them.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Let's not try to get
That'll
that.
be a
clever.
play on words, I feel.
Let's talk about Kazuchika Okada. Another win via Rainmaker taking on Mascara Dorado. He earns a shot at one of Dorado's titles, but post-match Don Callis gives him the old. You're gonna have to hang out with your old buddy Takeshita that you don't really like. Speaking of, can they coexist? Don Callis brings us the thunder with this one. It is gonna be Okada teaming with Takeshita as well as Echicero. I mean, I thought Okada sold it really well. That is the biggest positive about that part of the match. I also thought the match was solid. I just kind of am a little like, when are we going to get to Okada Takeshita though, right? And is that just going to be a Wrestle Kingdom thing? Is that the point of all of this? Is it not even going to happen on AEW? And that's my question. I got to ask you though, Des, what were your thoughts on the match, the follow-up, all of that, and the potential for when's this showdown actually happen?
All right. The match was good, man. Okada put on a really good match. I got to say, I really wish I was there in person because I feel like the crowd was really hot. To see Okada wrestle in person was something I honestly never thought I'd be able to do. But yeah, it was a good match. It's pretty cool too. I don't think it's as good as the one against Bandito, but I think Mascara Dorado is a very underrated talent, and he's someone that I am very happy that CMLL is showcasing more to the AEW audience because it's like, oh wow, this guy's actually really cool. It's actually really good, pairing him with a lot of elite talent. I'm surprised this is on Tailgate Brawl, though. I'm not going to lie. It feels like, because it's like their 0 hour kind of, so I'm surprised it's not on the main card. As for the big showdown, I've been saying this for a while. I think it's going to be the Continental Classic. I feel like Takeshita will finally beat Okada in the finals of the tournament at World's End. This is just another chapter in the story between them where Don Callis is trying to keep both of them together. And I feel like little by little, this is going to lead to some sort of civil war between the Don Callis family. Potentially Kyle Fletcher could be involved in there. So I'm very, very excited for this feud, man. Okada and Takeshita are going to tear it down. I already know they're going to do it. But it's awesome to have CML talent showcase. This is also for the CMLL World Trios Championships too. So it'll be a fun match, and maybe we'll get some shenanigans, and hopefully we have this ending at World's End. As cool as it would be to see at Wrestle Kingdom, I just don't see it happening on New Japan.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. It just does feel a little bit odd that it's not at Full Gear, right? And I love this CMLL talent. But, well, that's just what it felt like coming out of the last few months.
Right.
And then we got here, and it's like, oh, is it too soon? Is it too late? I just, there's just a lot of factors at play when it comes to this rivalry in general, and even the Kyle Fletcher match, right? He's in a no DQ with Mark Briscoe. That's going to be Ken Griffey Jr. 97 slugfest, right? I mean, that's going to be an absolute bloodbath, as they like to say. This cracked me up though. We got Grand Metalik versus Okada before GTA 6. We did. That is
right.
That is a truth fact. That definitely happened.
It happened.
It's good to see that I feel like he's someone that really I know he's not AEW talent, but I'm happy that he's been able to kind of like get out of that whole after the whole WWE dirt on him. He's really been able to re-establish himself as someone really big in CMLL, and obviously I feel like anytime he gets an opportunity to wrestle in AEW, he shows why he's great.
100%.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, I actually think the Callis family, as much as like the pictures are a little bit over the top and all of that, and thankfully that's not on the topics today, so we're not going to get into it before the main event, but like the fact is the Death Riders, it's just time. Like, pull the plug. What are we doing? Like, they were the big heel team. Like, we're done. The Callis family needs to fill that void. And it's going to break down with some rivalries from within because that's the way it's been booked. That's why it's so large on stage.
Yeah.
And I think that's acceptable. What I'm curious about is what the core group's going to look like once Okada Takeshita goes down, once some of these internal type rivalries happen. Who is left and who is the power play team that makes you afraid of them? There's an argument to be made that the Ops are equally as intimidating. There's only 3 of them.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's like, and I'm not saying that I believe that 100% specifically, but it is very possible. D6 Willard here in the comments with O'Reilly should be world champion. I think it's a little early for that, but he's on the best run he's had in AEW.
I don't know
about that.
Champion.
Not right.
I'm a big KOR guy, but I don't know about world champion just yet.
I do believe he wins this match on Sunday.
Yeah. I hope so. I hope it
against Moxley, and it's got to be done. It's got to be done then. I hope it's an absolute bloodbath. But at the same time, like, and I love it how I've now flipped and like. When it used to be, I wasn't even that critical of John when he was bleeding every week, but I'm like, just bleed more now. It's awesome. I love that it's just like a guarantee. Like, just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Blade away. I've fully embraced, like, just do it. That's his thing. Like, he's going to bleed and he doesn't care. And I don't it's now fun again. He waited long enough. It's suddenly fun again. But let's get into our main event that everyone's been waiting on. We had a bunch of comments earlier about it. Is Mercedes Mone the best wrestler in the world after defeating, or women's wrestler in the world after defeating Red Velvet last night in the ROH Women's World Television Championship unification match? I will start with you, Shoddy. What are your thoughts? Is she or no?
Yeah, 2025 is the year of Miss Mercedes Mone. It is the easiest answer you can put on for me with this question without a shadow of a doubt. Who is on Mercedes Mone's level this year? Nobody. You talk about a woman that has gone from company to company to company to company and taking their belts, becoming a champion. Like, that is the grandest of grand when you talk about wrestling characters, right? Because we don't even have a lot of wrestling characters who do that, but let alone let it be a woman doing it. And that's the beauty of it. Mercedes Mone is one of the best wrestling stories we've had in the last few years, because this was somebody who was positioned out of the WWE for politics as usual, bet on herself, took her route in Japan, came to AEW, and now she is at the top of the game. I always say this: Mercedes Mone over Sasha Banks. Like, because she gets to be player A. She gets to be the main character for the first time in a long time. She gets to be the face of the franchise. She doesn't need to worry about having another horsewoman kind of potentially take the title off of her really quickly, right? She gets to really be her own boss, her own CEO, and that's the beauty of it. But yeah, man, like it goes without a question. She's accomplished so much this year, but also let's not forget the the ongoing complaint people have about these title stuff. It got you talking about her. It makes you engage in these posts. She's making people care about it, whether it's for good or for bad. That's one thing that she's done, and that's her doing a job. And the second thing is this. Let's not forget, this woman is without a doubt one of the greatest in-ring wrestlers of all time, man or woman. The stuff that she does bell for bell, the psychology that she has, her facial expressions, her selling, the whole nine, she is one of the best. Last night with Red Velvet was nothing short. It was a very good TV main event. Red Velvet, someone who, in my opinion, is a very solid worker, a little green, coming back out from injury. She had me invested to go against her. Just out the gate, pushing her. You know, them kind of having a little tee off of there. And that finish last night. Like, oh my goodness, she's so smooth, silky smooth when it comes to being an in-ring wrestler. So yes, this is Mercedes' year because one, she's doing all the stuff that she does in-ring wise, but two, there's not a woman in wrestling that is a more important character than her. Like nobody is just really positioning themselves to that level. So yes, this is the year of Mercedes Mone. She's the best women's wrestler currently.
Boom. I totally dig it. But I also do have to get Dez's thoughts, if he agrees or not. And then I'm going to give mine. Dez, is Mercedes Mone the best women's wrestler in the world right now after defeating Red Velvet last night on Dynamite to win the ROH women's title?
Balls in my court. If we're talking the best women's wrestler in the world, I'd say yes. The only reason why is because she's the only women's wrestler to win around the world. She has countless title belts. I was talking, we got to have a Mercedes Mone counter on the show, and every single week, I guarantee you it's going to go up by one. Right now, she's almost like Thanos at this point. She's just collecting championships over and over and over again to the point where she might have every belt. Y'all remember that WWE 12 storyline where Sheamus got every belt? That's going to be Mercedes Mone. But all jokes aside, I think she's great. She's someone I've been kind of critical of in the past just because of like, you know, a lot of the stuff going on backstage. But it's really hard to ignore, man, to learn that many styles, to face that many opponents, right? And women are eager to wrestle her, where they want to wrestle her, where it's like, they know we're going to lose, but guess what? People are paying attention to the product. People are buying tickets to go to these little smaller venues. So absolutely, she's up there. If it's not Mercedes Mone, it's Becky Lynch, because Becky Lynch to me has been on an unbelievable run this year. But all in all, the entirety of the entire year, I feel like it's got to be Mercedes Mone.
I love the way you broke that down, Des, but I asked you a specific question, and it was a yes or no question. Is she or is she not the best women's wrestler in the world, Mercedes Mone?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yes. Wow. I respect it. If not Becky Lynch, I'll accept now. But I was like, what are you doing with this?
That's great. I love Becky Lynch, man.
Is she the best
awesome.
or no? I was like, Des. It's real simple. She either is or she isn't. We'll do top 5 on a list show on a Sunday fun day. I'm kidding.
Every Mercedes Mone championship win, that's going to be the fun day.
So I'm also going to answer the question myself too. Is Mercedes Mone the best women's wrestler in the world right now, based on last night's main event? I'm going to say it louder for those in the back. She's always been. What are we talking about here? Are you serious? What have you been watching? Sasha Banks and Mercedes Mone are the same person. So she had the guts to stand up to bad booking at her previous job, and what, you got all in your feelings, and that's why you're overcritical over the name change and the current run. It's undeniable how good it is. It's undeniable she's been the best women's wrestler in the world all year. That is a joke. You want to talk about biases and like the whole tribal thing, like the tribalism, whatever, across professional wrestling. If you don't understand the value that Mercedes Mone brings, not just to AEW, but everywhere she's gone since, I don't know what product you're watching. And she's the only woman in this conversation that runs her own show. She does it. She calls the shots. She's going to go to this promotion and wrestle. She's going to wrestle this night. She's going to do all that. She has autonomy. She's the most involved in creative of any women's wrestler you could possibly put in the top 10 right now. There isn't a team of writers telling her, we think you should do this or that or the other. She is as involved as anybody because she's so passionate about the business. So it's not even just the in-ring work. It's the psychology. It's the mind for the business. It's everything she's accomplished over this run. And I see DCX Warlord here with Athena. Yes, that is the matchup we need to lead to. And the other brilliance is she's going to win every title in the world outside of those guys over the big ones, the WWE probably, except that world title. There's still storytelling to be had. Not every stone has been unturned. It's genius. There's nothing more we could ask for. If you don't like it, it's because she's showed up your favorite company. And that's the truth. That's the reality of the situation when it comes to the conjecture about Mercedes Mone. And I'll put my name on that every single day. She's been unbelievable and undeniable, especially since she was on her own. Left the Fed, as we like to call him. Oh, I'm in trouble. There's a buzzword. I shouldn't have said it. Whoops, my bad. But with that, that is going to bring us all to the end of this show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you so much. We'll be back same time, same place tomorrow. Of course, that's noon Pacific, 3 o'clock over on the East Coast, 8 o'clock in the UK, and 9 a.m. for my good friends in Hawaii. On behalf of me, Shad Tawks Graps, Dez, the man, the myth, the legend, and all of us at WR, we hope you have a great rest of your Thursday. Enjoy all of the shows this weekend. Full gear. We've got SmackDown. Survivor Series is on the way. Thanksgiving. I can't believe it's already November, but have a great Thursday, and we will talk to you soon. Whatever.